My name is Penny, and I'm a Dynatrace advocate here at Dynatrace. And today we hope to answer some of your crucial questions so that you can get started with Dynatrace custom apps. Anyway, whilst we're filling up, Sini, would you like to explain who you are, who is my co-host today?
Sure, Penny, thanks. Yeah, hi, I'm Sini, also developer advocate at Dynatrace. So basically, responsible for creating developer-related content, also doing workshops about custom Dynatrace apps, and managing our developer community as part of our Dynatrace community. Heading back to Penny.
Super cool. So I can see we've got some good attendees so far in joining. So let's get started and let's see what you can expect to have in this session. So here in this session, we are going to cover some of what's new in the Dynatrace platform. We're going to be focusing on the technical features that can be found in the monthly newsletter in our developer blog. And that's going to be hosted by Sini, who's going to take us over there in a second. But before we do that, we want to encourage you to keep asking your questions because this session is designed for you. You can do that by joining our Slido link that you can see here in the top right, I think it is for you. So by that QR code, you can scan that and that will take you through to a Slido application for you to ask your questions. If not, you can just do it by going in the chat where I think Sini is going to post now the link. Great, thank you. And you can just go there and it will open the web browser where you can ask any questions that you like. Now, if we don't get round to your question as of yet, don't worry, because you can go over to our developer community blog or developer community forum, and you can ask there. But we will try our very best to get all those questions answered for you today. Cool. Well, why don't I hand over to Sini, and he can take us through a little bit of what's new today.
Thank you, Penny. Let me share my screen. I hope you can see my screen with the developer newsletter.
Yes, we're seeing that.
Thanks, Penny. So maybe you guys have already noticed within our community, we have a developer forum, developer blog, and a developer blog where we, on a monthly basis, summarize release notes which are relevant for developers creating custom Dynatrace apps. And what we try to summarize, so what are the most important updates for the last month? So if I scroll down, so what you will see in our office, in our newsletter, you will see our office hours announcements. You will see also some highlights and some events. And in the bottom part, you will see release highlights. So what was important from the last release? In the last release, we released a new SDK package about React hooks. So why should you use this package? What is this package all about? Maybe if you have tried already to query DQL data, you might have noticed that it's not always that smooth. And what we are now offering, for instance, are React hooks for React hooks to query the Grail data. And yeah, in our developer portal, you have a documentation about it, how to use it, and how does it work. Another thing, what we also, for instance, highlight in our release highlights are if there are any breaking changes. So in case you're accessing Dynatrace app functions via the app utils package and using the second optional parameter, for your information, the parameter type has changed. So if you use this parameter, you might need to adjust it. Other highlights, what you also show in the release notes, are updates regarding our design system. And there, what is noteworthy to mention, with the latest release, we have added a new component, the MeterBarChart component. And let me jump to the developer portal maybe to have a look at it. So just another visualization chart, MeterBarChart. And in our developer portal, when you look at the examples, what you can you can check out the code, how to make use of the MeterBarChart. And that's it about our newsletter updates and highlights. Handing over back to Penny.
Cool, thanks, Cindy. That's really good to know. So there's two places there that you need to keep mind of. So that was the Dynatrace developer documentation, where you can learn more about all the new features and stuff like that. But to get a highlight of actually what's going on in those new updates, you can take a look at our developer blog. Cool. So if I just share my screen.
So Penny, I have a question. So when will be the next office hours meeting?
The next office hours meeting. Good question. So our next office hour meeting is actually not scheduled yet. It's not on the books, but we're planning on hosting these at least once a month so that we can regularly update you with the latest new updates, and that you can get all those new GC informations new, and so that also we can answer your questions nice and early as well. So let me just change the slide here. So if you have any questions in terms of any of that new stuff that you saw, you can just highlight it here. And to finish Cindy's question as well, because I realized I didn't finish it, you can actually find out more information by looking at our developer blog, where we will update all of the new office hours there for you. So yeah, if there's any questions, let's take a look here. I'm just going to have a quick look and see if there are any questions as of yet. If there's not any questions, that's okay, because we actually have some prepared already. We have a nice, vibrant developer community or developer forum that has some community spotlight questions. So here I'm basically just going to pick a couple of those questions out, and I'm going to ask Cindy to explain a little bit more about what the answers to those are. And if by any chance those spur up any ideas of questions you'd like to ask, please feel free to drop those into Slido. So what is our first question? Our first question was asked by one of our Dynatrace helpers, Lucas Hocker, and he was looking here at doing conditional formatting of some columns, also known as highlighting some columns in a table. Cindy, would you like to explain the solution for us?
Yeah, so sure, Penny. So basically, when you use a data table component, the data table component has a prop called row threshold. And Penny, if you click on the next slide, you can set the row threshold property, where you can specify a condition when a certain row, basically, or cell is highlighted. So in that case, what you see here, for instance, yes, please highlight row critical or red once a specific field value is true. And you can have not only one, but you can have multiple conditions. And for further details about how to do row or column highlighting with the data table component, feel free to check out the examples in our developer documentation, dev portal. And guys, if you have questions, not only questions about the content we present, but any questions related to creating Dynatrace apps or custom Dynatrace apps, then feel free to post them in Slido.
Well, we've got a bit of a nervous audience, I think, Cindy, or we're just answering everything really well. So it's one of the two. But we do have one other community question we can share with you in the meantime to have a look through. So what was our second question? Our second question was wondering if we can deploy an app via a Jenkins pipeline, and that was answered by Scott Smith. Cindy, can we?
Yeah, yes, we can. So basically, some users or some customers, they want to integrate the deployment of the Dynatrace app in their Jenkins pipeline, in the CI/CD pipeline. And as you might know, so when deploying, if you want to deploy an app to an environment, you need to authenticate it. Can you please go to the next slide? And what you need to do, basically, you need to use the environment variables DT app OAuth client ID and DT app OAuth client secret. So you need to set the OAuth client ID and the OAuth client secret as environment variables. And you need to create an OAuth client. How to create an OAuth client, you can find in our help. And what kind of environment variables are possible with the Dynatrace app toolkit. So basically with the DT app. You can also check out in our developer portal. And yeah, having this said, yeah, it is possible. And for further details, you can check out our documentation.
Super cool. Thank you for that overview, Sini. I think it was very clear to see that the answer was right there for you. So just again, for the audience here, you can check out all of these community questions within the developer blog and developer forum, where we're highlighting them and also obviously asking these questions. So yes, those were those questions that we had prepared for you so far. I can't see anything coming through yet. So we're obviously doing such a good job that all of the questions are already answered, or everyone's just waiting to come into the developer forum later. What do you think, Silly? Do you think we'll have an influx?
Yeah, might be. We have an influx on the developer forum. So in case you have a question tomorrow or the next week, the other week, feel free to ask the question in the developer community, developer forum, and our team, the platform enablement team, will be happy to answer it.
Super cool. So I'm just going to hold on a couple of seconds and just have random conversation with Cindy in case any particular question pops up into the mind, because I don't want to cut the session too short, but I also don't want to waste your time, guys. So if you have any questions, please put them into Slido or forever hold your peace and come back in 1 month. So Cindy, maybe you can tell us a little bit about custom Dynatrace apps and tell us what is it all about a little bit for a couple of minutes.
So maybe what is a custom Dynatrace app and what are we offering? So basically the same way Dynatrace developers can create apps, also external customers or partners can also create apps. So we have opened our platform so that you can build basically the same apps as we internally can build apps. And yeah, any kind of use case you have on top of your mind you want to be covered with Dynatrace, you have now the tools, the toolbox, the toolkit, the developer portal, and the Dynatrace platform to do so.
And so to add to that, you have all of the support areas as well. So you have, as Cindy already mentioned, Dynatrace developer documentation, you got the developer community in terms of having our forum and our blog, and you have these office hours as well. Super cool. I think we still don't have any questions as of yet.
No questions yet, no.
No questions. So in that case, I wonder if we should wrap it up. So then for this session, we'd like to say a huge thank you for everyone for joining. We hope that you have learned something here today. And if you want to learn more, please head over to the Developer Q&A forum or Dynatrace developer documentation, where you can learn everything you would like to learn about creating a Dynatrace custom app. And we look forward to seeing you in the next office open hour session and answer your questions for you as well there. Thank you very much.
Thank you and have a nice day.